You're listening to an audio version of a story from Oak Magazine, issue 11.
The Unspoken Challenge of Women's Business, written by Stacey Davidson, photography by Fable and Fig. Image description: Amanda is a woman with fair skin and curly blonde shoulder-length hair. She is sitting in a wide brown chair with one leg crossed over the other, smiling at the camera. She is wearing a cream roll-neck jumper, denim jeans and red glasses. A painful and emotional medical journey placed Amanda Keller with the unenviable title of being in the top 10% of worst cases in the state for her diagnosis. But life beyond recovery has lit a fire in this remarkably strong woman to raise awareness about the condition that had been silently tearing her life apart. Just 4 months on from surgery to rid her body of endometriosis, the South Australian farmer, business owner, wife and mother is ready to speak about her experience and how common this disease is, yet frustratingly it's barely spoken about. The statistics are startling. 1 in 9 Australian women suffer from endometriosis, a condition that can cause debilitating pain, infertility and life-threatening consequences. In Amanda's case, had it been left any longer in her body, she would have faced kidney failure. However, despite it being so common, Amanda found it's rarely discussed, pushed aside into the category of women's issues. For years, Amanda had a busy life, raising children, working on the farm and running her own business, Wild Woodland Toys, which transitioned from markets to a website to a shopfront. All this time, she was oblivious to the disease that had started growing inside her since puberty. When Amanda turned 40, she was taken off the pill, and that's when the pain started. I would be bent over, double in pain, could barely put one foot in front of the other, and even then I thought it was just period pain and I'd just pop some pills, explains Amanda. When you run a business and a farm and you're a mum, you just brush it under the carpet, and that's what Panadol and Nurofen are for. And when you live in a regional area, it's not always easy to get to the doctor. If you have a headache, everyone says, "Oh, sorry, you poor thing." But you don't go around saying you've got your period today and it's really heavy. People brush it off and say, "That's women's stuff." It got to the point when 3 out of 4 weeks Amanda was in pain, with at least one of those weeks so debilitating, even with pain relief, she would sometimes have to close her shop early. It wasn't until a customer told Amanda about her own endo journey, Amanda learnt it was a disease that didn't necessarily impact fertility, something she fortunately didn't have a problem with, and she thought there might be more to the pain that she had been experiencing. Amanda said she was fortunate to have an understanding doctor who didn't just give her a script for pain relief, but booked her in for an internal scan. The conversation afterwards was confronting. I was told it doesn't look too good. While endo doesn't show up in an ultrasound, what it did show was a cyst and my organs were a solid mass, fused together, which also made the scan very painful. The next step was to see a gynaecologist in Adelaide for a laparoscopy, the only way to diagnose endo. When I woke, she was standing over me and said, "We couldn't do anything. We had one look at you, and your organs in the lower part of your body are coated in the scar tissue and endo. We couldn't get your cyst. We couldn't even find your ovaries." The only way forward was a hysterectomy, including removing Amanda's ovaries, news that was like an earthquake to Amanda's life. Being a mum, you take care of your family. You don't do anything for yourself. All of a sudden, how do you put yourself first? How do you do that? You feel so selfish. First step was to stop the endo from growing further. This meant a 4-month process where Amanda was chemically induced into menopause, a 4-hour round trip every month for injections on top of the regular GP appointments she was having. There were side effects, dry skin, joint pain, headaches, where they would just slam you, but you had to tough it out for 4 months. Menopause is a slow thing. This was just bang. With menopause, it takes 10 to 15 years for estrogen to slowly taper off. Women start at about 50 and by 65, it's all gone. But we need the estrogen for bones, heart and brain. So when they cut it off, every joint ached. I got headaches and hot flushes. I got to 3 months and went into Adelaide and said I was so done. I consider myself a strong person, but every day I had a headache. I had a business to run, and I was taking my daughter down to Gawler twice a week for calisthenics and Girl Guides. There was times Amanda just had to shut her shop and deal with the heartbreaking comments from people not understanding what was happening and criticising her for not being open. If that wasn't enough, Amanda also saw a bowel surgeon who told her because of how badly the endo had impacted her organs, she'd end up with a colostomy bag after her surgery. And he said to me, "You are 47, why are you even bothering when you were so close to menopause?" Prior to that, there had been another doctor dismissive of her condition and told Amanda she didn't deal with women her age with endo and prescribed her medication that ended up in the bin. These were life lessons Amanda says made her stronger, and she encourages others to fight for themselves and their bodies. When it came time for surgery, Amanda was absolutely terrified. Her gynecologist, who had guided her along the way, was unable to conduct the surgery due to its complexity, but she was able to assist in theatre another surgeon who teaches gynecology and hysterectomy surgeries at Adelaide's Women's and Children's Hospital. It was a 5-hour operation. They got it all. They didn't touch my bowel or bladder, and the surgeon said, "You were a very tough case, but we got it all. Every organ in the lower part of your body was fused and pulled to one side. It was like I was walking around with a 9-month pregnant belly." The surgeon said in another 2 years, my kidneys would have been strangled and I would have been in kidney failure. It took about 2 weeks post-surgery for the hormone replacement therapy, HRT, to start working, and this is when Amanda turned the corner. The headaches went, my joints stopped aching, my mood was happier, the hot flushes went away. Amanda has seen the way Australians have embraced the conversation around mental health and hopes speaking about her experience will spur people to be more comfortable and open about endo and other health issues. If you have got period pains, that's women's business and we don't talk about this. But 1 in 9 women have endo and are suffering and they don't know they have it. If you are suffering from pain, you go to the doctor. If you are not happy with what they are saying, then go to another doctor. You have to fight for yourself. Women, no matter what their age, should not be in pain. It's not normal. We need to talk about it in our mums groups. Are your periods painful? If I can even help one woman take that first step and go to the doctor and say, "Is this pain normal?" I feel like I've made headway. I feel so much better now. I didn't realise how unwell I was because it's crept up on me in 10 years, but my life was ruled by this disease and now I feel 150% better. Post-surgery counselling has also helped Amanda cope with the emotional toll brought on by the experience, both through the hormone changes and by the gravity of the disease she has been carrying. While Amanda's endo journey meant radical surgery, that's not always the case. She said while the only cure is hysterectomy and removing the ovaries, women who are wanting to have children can have the endo lasered off, but this process needs to be repeated when it grows back. To inspire a child's imagination through the simplicity of a wooden toy. wildwoodlandtoys.com.au. Facebook, Wild Woodland Toys.